Hello, my lovely prince and princesses, and welcome to another storytime video. So today I thought I would talk about my very first convention because I kind of realized that I never really had any like video evidence or any videos of me talking about my first con because it happens like 10 years ago, and I just realized that yesterday hanging out with someone who went to that con with me, and we both just sat there in awe over the fact that we've been going to this con for like 10 years. So my first convention was when I was in middle school, and it was 2006, and I was like in 7th grade, I believe, and I had no idea that there was a con in my state until I was searching up on the internet. I like found anime from somebody that I was friends with. Like, they showed me more about anime. I kind of already knew about Sailor Moon and Inuyasha and stuff, but they showed me it was like a whole world of animation. And that eventually led to me finding out what cosplay was, and then that eventually led to me finding out that there were conventions, and that there was one in Michigan less than an hour away from me, which was, oh man, me and my friends were so excited to go. We were like so pumped. And that con was Youmacon. So, since I was in middle school, I was very much going through my weeb phase, and my main anime of that time was Naruto. So me and my friends were absolutely in love with Naruto, and we all had like our favorite characters, and we decided, okay, we're gonna go to this con and we're gonna dress as Naruto characters. So me and my friend decided that we were gonna do Naruto, and then her sister and our other friend decided that they were going to do Inuyasha characters. And then my other friend didn't really have a costume per se, so she kind of just wore like fishnet stuff and like a fishnet shirt with a tank top and some cool pants and whatever, and just kind of was like a random ninja type of thing, since she didn't really have anybody that she really wanted to cosplay as. So everyone is going to be going by their character names. So I was dressed as Sakura Haruno from Naruto. My friend was dressed as Shikamaru. Our two other friends were dressed as Miroku and Kikyo. And then my friend Katie, she didn't really have anything like really big happen to her at the con really, so she probably won't be mentioned in this too much, but I'm just gonna call her Katie because she wasn't really dressed as anything. My friend Shikamaru is so weird to say people by their character names, like what they're dressed as, instead of their real names. But my friend Shikamaru's grandma was an avid sewer. So she had a sewing machine, she knew how to use patterns and all that stuff. So we were like, oh my god, can you help us with our costumes? And she said yes. So we like found a pattern, I found the type of fabric that I wanted to get, and I kind of told her, I need you to kind of alter the pattern if you can. Instead of it like being like this, like having like a regular like t-shirt kind of neck, I need it to go upwards and have like a little bit of a collar. And I told her that, and I like gave her a picture of the character, and I also gave her my measurements. And my friend gave her grandma the measurements as well. Well, the night before the con, we get our costumes. She brings it over, and I would put it on in excitement, and the neckline was down to here on me. So that was the first thing that drove me nuts, was the fact that she didn't add more fabric up here. She like, the neckline was all the way down here. And she also lined the entire costume in like white bias tape, and it was only supposed to be a certain part of the costume that was supposed to have white around it. So that was a little aggravating. And then it also didn't have the circles on it. So I had to do that myself with really, really weird glue that I had. I don't think it was even fabric glue, and I used felt, and it was kind of terrible, to be honest. And then my friend's Shikamaru jacket was too small. So pretty obvious that she mixed up our measurements. So that kind of sucked. So her jacket was way too small, and my dress was way too big. We decided that we were going to get 2 hotel rooms, and we had 2 chaperones with us. So my mom was one of the chaperones, and then Kikyo's mom was the other chaperone. So the night before the con, I had everybody stay the night and we were having fun, like just joking around, watching a little bit of anime before leaving. And then I decided, oh my god, I need to try on like every bit of people's costumes. I don't know why I specifically remember this happening. I just think it was one of those times where we just weeby weird inside jokes. But basically I put on the Sakura Haruno dress, I put on the Shikamaru jacket, I grabbed my friend's Moroku staff, and I was running around calling myself Maraka. I don't know why, but that was who I was calling myself. I was walking around saying I was Maraka. And I remember taking the staff and like kind of pounding it on the ground quite a bit and then going like this with it, like between my hands, because it had like the, those of you who don't know who Moroku, for those of you who don't know who Moroku is and like his staff, it has like these giant metal rings on it, and she had those on there. So I kept like making it, like shaking it and going like this and pounding on the ground because it was making noise. And I was just like, I am Maraka. The next morning we got up, and this was Saturday. We were only going for Saturday and staying the night Saturday into Sunday because we were still in middle school. There was no way we were going to convince our parents to take us for the whole weekend. We didn't have money to do that. So, you know, went to school, came home, got our stuff, and then the next day, Saturday, we went to the con. So the hotel that it was being held at was only about 30 minutes away from me. And we got there, we actually were at the hotel across the street, and there was a shuttle that would take us back and forth. So to give you a general idea of what most of us look like, I had an oversized Sakura Haruno dress on that was like cut down to here and with a tank top on underneath. I decided to get that spray hair color and spray my hair pink, and it was uneven and weird and gross. And then I had like the really nice metal Hot Topic headbands like on my head, and because I couldn't really order anything online and I had no idea where or how to get these shoes, like the weird ninja shoes, I bought these really terrible, clunky, uncomfortable dark blue sandals because I thought they would work for it, and I got blisters from them. I regretted it. They were gross and I threw them away after. I think they were, I don't know why I bought them. I just needed blue shoes. My friend, who was dressed as Shikamaru, she had really poofy hair. Like, really poofy hair. So what she did is she didn't have any bangs or anything, so she just put her whole hair up into a really high ponytail, and we kind of fluffed it up, and that's what she did, because she had dark brown hair, so it worked. Our friend Kikyo, she just kind of put her hair in a low ponytail. I don't even remember if she had like the wrappings or not. And then Moroku just put her hair in a tiny little ponytail because she had short hair. So none of us had wigs. We all used our real hair. Out of all of us, I honestly think Moroku probably looked the best. I don't know how or why, but it just kind of ended up that way. So we're at the con. Our hotel was super great. We get there and we finally go to the con, we buy our badge, and almost the entire time there, because I had watched like a few things on cons, because back then there wasn't a whole lot of stuff about conventions or like videos of conventions on YouTube at that time, because YouTube was still kind of a baby. I think that was even before Google even bought it. So I kind of just saw like a few things about cons and that con online, and I saw that people like to do hug signs. So all of us got in a line and we wrote on the back of our little booklets for the con and our like signature papers we like ripped out and wrote free hugs. I don't know why. In my mind as a like middle schooler, I wanted to be hugged by strangers, and almost all of the people like walking by that gave us hugs were like really tall, sweaty dudes that were gross, and I'm just like, looking back, I'm like, why? Why did I want to do that? Like, I don't want to be hugged by sweaty people. Ew. But we did that for most of the con. I remember Moroku, his sign said, "I'm horny, I need a hug." I don't know why I remember that either. I had like a picture of it on my really old camera. Yeah. So then after that, for a while, we actually found someone and became friends with someone. I do not remember her name at all. She was really nice, she was funny, she was great, she loved Inuyasha and Naruto. and we hung out with her for a while. We got to go around the dealer's room and Artist Alley. Like, I bought these posters that I only just got rid of, like, I want to say a year or two ago, because I felt bad parting with them because it was like my first convention. It was this really awesome artwork of, one was Naruto and one was Sasuke, and I'm pretty sure I got rid of them because I just have too much stuff. So it was hard to part with them, I remember, but that's what I bought there. I think that was the only thing I got there at my first con. So after like all that, we were still hanging out, like looking at all the other Naruto cosplayers, and there was a Shishomaru cosplayer. Like, to a T, this Shishomaru cosplayer was perfect. It was amazing. We were astonished. Like, pretty sure she also had the contacts. I can't 100% remember if she did or not. What's funny is I still have her on my friends list on Facebook today, and I added her on MySpace after that because that's when MySpace was still popular. She doesn't really cosplay too much anymore, go to cons too much anymore, but like her costume was perfect. And Arkikyo was like obsessed and wanted to get a picture of Shishomaru so bad. But she was like in character and was like, no, no. And then also asked like if she could get a hug from Shishomaru, and she was like, no, no. And it wasn't until later, until she actually said yes to, I think, like a picture with Arkikyo. But it was just really funny because like Arkikyo just really wanted a picture and the whole time just acting in character. We saw this really awesome Sailor Moon guy cosplayer. He actually entered the cosplay competition and won. I don't know if it was like the cosplay competition or the masquerade for a skit, because I've seen him do skits in the past, like after that con. But I know he won like a huge award, and we saw him like later that night with the award, and we're like, oh my god, congrats! And this guy also, freaking beautiful, perfect Sailor Moon. He was great. So we actually met these two really awesome people there. One was dressed as Kiba, and one was dressed as like kind of a original character inspired by Gaara, I think, or like was a female Gaara. I don't necessarily remember what she was dressed as. But I remember I met them. They were cool. I asked them for a picture. They were really, really nice. And I actually still have that Gaara on my friends list as well. I don't really talk to her much anymore either, but like I still have her, which is crazy to think how many people I met at my first or second con and I still have on my friends list today. So then I eventually introduced them to the people I was rooming with, and we hung out in like the hallway of the con, and we chilled and we talked and all this stuff. And then when we went back to our rooms, Kikyo was kind of like the type of person, she wasn't, I don't really know how to explain the type of person she was because I'm not really friends with her today at all. She basically kept saying like, oh, that Kiba was really cute, he was so cute, oh my god, he was so cute, blah blah blah, don't you think he was cute? And she kept saying it over and over again, and I just like had this feeling, because I knew how she was as a person, that if I said that if I thought that he was cute, which I did, she would automatically run out there and go tell him. Like, I knew that's what would happen if I said anything. Because I know her, I knew her at that time. So I kept my mouth shut, I didn't say anything at all, and she just kept saying it over and over again. And I remember at one point, Kikyo, like, would lie about, like, random things. She kind of always did this, like, quite a bit. Like, looking back, there's a lot of things that she would obviously lie about. And there was one thing that she brought up. She's like, oh, I left my, like, Soul Eater, Soul Collector plush in my car. Because, like, Kikyo, for those of you that don't know, has, like, these weird, creepy, like, soul things that follow her around. And they collect souls for her. And they're really weird looking. And they're called soul collectors. So she was saying that she had a plush like thing that she found that looked like it, so she bought it and brought it to the con. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, you got one, like, let's go get it, I didn't know you left it in, like, you know, your mom's car, let's go get it. And she's like, no, I don't want it, no, I don't need it, no. And I'm like, okay. And I didn't really think about it till after the con was over. I'm like, yeah, she was probably lying, like, there's no way that, why wouldn't you go and get it? I don't know, it was like a really stupid thing to lie about, but I remember her lying about that. So then Saturday night, like, rolls around, and my mom really wanted to go back to the hotel. And I don't think it was even, like, 10:30, 11 o'clock at that point. And we were trying to get all the other people into the shuttle, And my mom just kept going in and out, like in and out of the shuttle, into the hotel, into the shuttle, into the hotel, because we were trying to get all the other people that we were with into the shuttle to go back to our hotel. And I was really mad because all I wanted to do was stay longer, because it was my first con. Like, all I wanted to do was stay out longer. Like, it was Saturday night. I didn't see why I had to go, but my mom wouldn't really let us. So we were trying to get everybody in, and then we saw that cops showed up. And we didn't know what had happened, and my mom wanted to get out of there even more because there were cops there, and she was kind of like really weirded out that something was happening. And then eventually we found out that this Jiraiya cosplayer that we had seen around, we thought he was really funny, he was cool, like, had did something. Like, that's what we heard, is that he did something to some girl, and we were like, okay then. So the cops were called. So we went over back to our hotel, and that was it for Saturday. Sunday morning comes, and we went back there to like go see if there's anything else going on. Most people were like sleeping, dead, whatever. And we ran into the girl that we were friends with before, who like really liked Inuyasha and Naruto. And what was funny is we were all standing there, and Kikyo looked over and she's like, oh god, look at that really awful like Inuyasha cosplayer. Oh, it looks so bad. The sword is made of duct tape, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. I was like really confused why she just looked over and started like making fun of this random person we didn't know. And that person comes up and starts talking to us, and it was actually the person that we became friends with the day before, that really loved Inuyasha and really loved Naruto. And the day before she wasn't in a costume, so we didn't know that she brought any. And I like yelled at Kikyo, like, how the fuck can you make fun of this person? Like, we were just talking to her yesterday, she's super sweet, she's nice, how can you say that? Like, that was so rude. Like, on top of making fun of someone you don't know, and then they walk up and there's someone that you do know, why? Why did that happen? What the hell? After that, we didn't really stay at the con much longer. I think we left by like 1 o'clock on Sunday because we didn't have anything to do and like didn't have a badge for Sunday, and my mom just wanted to go home. Like, she really didn't want to be there at all. So we left, and that's kind of all that happened for my first con. I remember like really being happy and excited that I went to a con, but just being so sad that I wasn't there the whole weekend and didn't get to experience more of it. And that was also the con that introduced me to caramel dancing. You know, that really old song that was basically like super popular in sense of kind of like a meme in a way, but not necessarily. You know, the one that goes like this. Yeah. That was the con that introduced that to me and how popular it was, and I loved that song for a long time through my weeb phase. Yeah. So that's it for the story time. That's kind of like all I can really specifically remember about the con, since it happened when I was in middle school. But let me know in the comments down below if you found this story interesting, like what stuck out the most to you. Do you have any similar experiences from your first convention that might have been similar to mine? Like, I don't know, running into someone, like making really good friends with someone, bringing along your friends, anything like that. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for being a subscriber. And I know that by the time this video is uploaded, it should be getting pretty close to Colossal Con of this year. So if you're going to Colossal Con, hit me up on my other social media, which is my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Instagram. So you guys can let me know when we can chill and hang out and do whatever at the water park. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!